Thanks for joining us on another episode of The Grind. Here's your host, JB.
Hey, welcome back. Man, I feel like it's almost been a season since I've been in front of this thing. But I have to be honest with you. I am totally excited about the direction we're going to kind of move here. And just a few seconds, to be honest with you. I know there's been some conversation with Terreyl and Sava and myself, I guess probably since the middle of last season when it really became the three of us with the streams and making it happen there in Varsity Gym. But I think it's here. It's been a long time in works and long conversations, but man, I can't be more excited to announce that Terreyl is going to take over the host tonight. And so everybody knows, I think most people probably know that are fans of the show or the platform. Terrell's an alumni of the program, right? From 2003 to 2008. Terreyl wrestled there at App State. So very intimate knowledge, a lot of experience, knows the wrestlers, knows kind of the history, knows Varsity Gym, has a good relationship with coach and the staff and the student athletes. So tonight I'm going to turn it over to Terreyl here in just a second. We will give Terreyl his due and do a Beyond the Mat episode with Terreyl here coming soon. But I'm just going to be very frank with everybody. May was my financial audit month, and I was completely buried, overwhelmed at work for the past month. So I'm through that. Hopefully we'll be able to get things on track here a little bit. I know the program has been super busy, and those guys have been, if you're not paying attention, I'm going to tell you right now, there are some wrestlers at App State Wrestling that have been there a minute. This next season, I hate to say anything to jinx seasons or anything like that, but man, you got to pay attention. If you folks are not paying attention to the talent at App State Wrestling, you're missing out. Like, it is world-class talent at App State Wrestling. And Terrell's going to talk to Coach about it here in just a minute. But I just had to say my piece because those guys are doing a phenomenal job, and I'm excited to hear the update from Coach. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to the man of the hour, Terreyl. Let's go check in with Terreyl. Terreyl, man, I'm excited to have you on this platform and playing host for us.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Jeremy. And sorry, you had something to say?
No, yeah, just and before we get too far gone, because I know you've got some questions for Coach, and I know everybody's excited to hear from Coach because it's been a minute. I just want to say we will get you in front of this mic and have the conversation and learn more about Terreyl as the wrestler at App State, so everybody knows your time there, your career at App State as a wrestler. But definitely appreciate you stepping up and being a part of this program tonight because it's a big episode. I think Coach has got a lot to talk about with U23 and camp, so I greatly appreciate you. And I can't thank you and Sava enough for your passion to promote App State Wrestling.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate the warm welcome. And before we get going, I want to say thank you to all of our Rockfin subscribers and all of our patron subscribers. Again, what you do really helps us with what we're trying to do, which is help this program and help these athletes. And so I want to say thank you about that, and then I guess we're ready for some questions and getting JohnMark on here. So JohnMark, Coach, how's it going?
It's going well, Terreyl. I hope you're doing well. It's been a busy it's been a busy spring, finishing up with our season, with the collegiate season and moving right into freestyle. We've had a lot of our guys that have been competing over the last 4 to 6 weeks in several freestyle events, and honestly, we've had a lot of success. And then just got back from the U23 World Team Trials and had a great performance up there by our guys, and just a lot of exciting things going on in our program over the last 2 months, and starting to turn our focus to camps, and really excited about having a full camp slate again this summer.
Awesome, awesome. So let's go back a step with U23. I know, there's some big highlights with John being able to place second. You had Caleb being able to place fifth, and the training center as a whole was a top 10 finish in points. So talk about some of the highlights, some of the takeaways, some things to work on.
Well, first, Terrell, I want to kind of really give credit to the all the people that have been behind establishing the regional training center, the Boone RTC, and we've had a lot of people behind the scenes. Jeremy's one of them included in getting it up and off the ground. But there's no question about it. If you look at our results this spring on the freestyle circuit, the RTC is making an immediate impact on our program. I mean, we've had a lot of, this season, over the last couple of years, we've broken a lot of program records for App State wrestling. But now that we're, the Boone RTC's up and running, I would also say there's been tons of freestyle records broken this spring that have, been longstanding at Appalachian State. But, I'll take a step back. I mean, Caleb Smith back in early May wrestled in the U.S. Senior Open in the freestyle division at 57 kilos. Was an All-American there, placed top 6 in his weight. And qualified for World Team Trials. Several weeks later, he went out to World Team Trials and, competed in that. And then we just took 18 guys to the U23 team trials this past weekend up in Geneva, Ohio. And, from top to bottom, man, I was just really taken back by how hard our guys competed and how well they, have shown tremendous strides and especially, in the freestyle style of wrestling. And, John, to my knowledge, was the first U23 or university finalist that we've ever had in program history. And he made the best 2 out of 3 series. Fell a little short in the finals, but, really, showed out, placing second at a loaded weight class at 70 kilograms. And then Caleb Smith followed up his U.S. Open performance with another top 5 finish at the U23 Nationals at 57 kilos. And then we also had a Greco All-American. One of our heavyweights, Tristan Norris, ended up placing 8th at heavyweight in the Greco division. And so just a lot of great showings. I mean, we had 11 wrestlers advance to the second day of the U23s. 11 of our 18 wrestlers advanced to day 2, which is more than double, any year that I can ever remember, in my tenure here coaching at Appalachian. And I think we had 8 guys make it to the blood round, the match to win, to place top 8, end up having, 2 placers. But I think that just shows the growth and consistency of a lot of our guys. I mean, just a lot of great performances up and down. I can't say enough great things about them. They really committed to training this last 2 months, getting ready for this tournament. And, we put in a really good freestyle season, our guys have. And I'm really just thankful for the Boone RTC and already starting to see the impact it's making on our college wrestlers.
That's awesome. And, I know based off of the introduction with the ambassadors, it kind of came up about how, like, before college, there wasn't a lot of freestyle experience. And so I know you being my coach, it was kind of the first time that I was able to compete as well in freestyle. How vital do you feel like that having that competition, especially in another sort of how vital is it to have that sort of experience over the summer to go into, folk style, back into college wrestling, getting ready for that upcoming season?
Oh, it's extremely important. Number one, our guys need to compete against the best guys in the country. And really the only opportunities to compete against the best guys in the country in the spring and summer is in the international styles in freestyle and Greco-Roman. So, obviously that's a big reason why you want your guys wrestling freestyle circuit in the spring and summer. But also I think it's great to train freestyle. I think that it makes you focus on a lot of skills that are very important as far as, reaching that next level as far as position, scoring rate, finishing quick, just being, more of a student of the sport as a whole. It gets you a little bit out of your comfort zone, I mean, and like you mentioned, the vast majority of our guys, I think that's what's so impressive about having 11 of our 18 wrestlers advance to day two. I bet you less than a handful of those guys had ever wrestled freestyle before they came in our room, in the college room. And so, you look at John, he makes a U23 Nationals finals, makes the best 2 out of 3 to make the world team. And he never wrestled a freestyle match until he got to Appalachian State. And, I think that just shows the, tremendous impact that it's making. And, giving our guys the opportunity to have high level training, and it's going to be able to provide some different opportunities and experiences for our guys. I think it's going to be able to add, at different athletes, different training opportunities, different coaches to the mix that our athletes are going to have a benefit of is just extremely important. And, our guys really, you could tell that we've really focused heavily on freestyle these last 2 months. And, it kind of gives them a mental break, maybe, just, wrestling is, obviously a different style. It makes you look at different strategies and different tactics, maybe than you're normally accustomed to figure out ways to win matches. And I think that translates over to folk style. I mean, you look at a guy like Jonathan Milner, I think it's pretty impressive that he places top 2 in freestyle, considering his best position is top. And he doesn't even get the opportunity to do that in freestyle, really, as so to speak, as far as riding and really wearing a guy out. So, it's forced him to get better at holding position and get better at his attack rates and finishing on his feet. And, I've seen tremendous jumps. I mean, not just from John, and Caleb, but all the way up and down our lineup, our 18 to 20 guys that have been here training all summer so far. I mean, I saw an extreme jump in their, wrestling from March until this past weekend.
That's fantastic. And, it's always good to keep that progression because, everyone else is doing it, right? So we've got to make sure that keep grinding. So speaking of that, right, we've got the rest of the summer. We're transitioning into the camps. Talk to me about the camps. What's going on? Anything notable you want to talk about with the camps you got going on?
Yeah, absolutely. But before I actually touch on that, Terrell, one more, exciting announcement for the program that I don't want to fail to mention. Actually, our volunteer coach, our newly hired volunteer coach, Jared Patterson, will be arriving in Boone tomorrow. So that's just another resource that our guys are going to have, having his experience as a former All-American at the University of Oklahoma, and, having him on our staff and starting tomorrow is going to be a tremendous asset to have our guys to be able to have another resource to work with them and help them improve their skill. So Jared and his wife, will be out here tomorrow, and, looking forward to getting them, settled down and settled in here in Boone and joining our coaching staff. So, and then, in a couple weeks on June 20th, we start our first summer camp, and we've got 5 different camps this summer. We started with our youth camp, which is a 5-day youth camp the week of June 20th through June 24th. And it's just a day camp, but we'll be, working with the little wrestlers, 7 years old through 6th grade, developing them and, give them an opportunity for a camp that first week. And then we roll right into our team camps and our prospect camp and our intensive camp. So we've got a full slate, and our numbers looking good. Early registration looks good. And so, as even from dating back to your time here, our camps are a very important piece of how we, provide funding for our program. So we're excited to have more of a, typical camp, schedule, on tap for the summer.
Gotcha. Awesome. That's pretty much everything I had questions wise, but I wanted to also ask you, was there anything else that's going on with the program that you wanted to mention, the announcement? That's awesome. But is there anything else that you want to mention about, what's going on or what's coming up next or what's coming soon?
Well, I mean, we touched on it a little bit earlier, but I do want to, spend, just maybe another minute talking about the Boone Regional Training Center, which, was newly formed this year. And like you can already see the impact it's having on our student athletes. We're obviously going to need funding. The important part about the RTC is for it to continue growing and providing opportunities for our student athletes. We've got to raise money. And so, if you're out there and you're listening and you're, wanting to make an impact on our program, the Boone RTC, donating to that, we have, the 501c3 charitable status. So, you can get a tax write-off, and we'll try to get some more information out about that. I mean, how you can donate to the RTC, what options we have. But that's going to be really important as we try to grow this program to kind of the direction I foresee it going. We're going to have to continue growing the RTC and the funding model to be able to hire new coaches and athletes, have training partners and opportunities to compete. So, that's really going to be really crucial and vital for this program to reach the state that I want it to be. And, it's been a great spring, great summer. I'm thankful for, all the things that's happened for our program this spring and summer. We currently have some things in the work, that we're working on, looking at that, potentially you're going to see some renovations, hopefully to our competition facility, maybe even as early as next year. And so I'm not going to give a whole lot of detail on that because it's not been, fully approved and the ink signed yet. But, we've got a couple of donors that are, discussing stepping up and helping us in a big way and really try to transform Varsity Gym even further. As you guys already know, I mean, it's just unbelievable the competition environment in varsity, but we're looking at trying to maybe even enhance that experience for our fans.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. Well, don't want to keep you for too long, but I appreciate the time that you've given us today. Again, before we close out, anything else you want to add at all? Or, I mean, I don't want to talk your ear off either.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're out there listening and you're still, considering maybe attending a summer camp, if you're interested in our wrestling camps this summer, we have a camp website. You can go on our camp website at www.appstatewrestlingcamps.com. And it's got all the information about all 5 of our camps, the price, the details, camp schedules, everything you need to know, and how to register. There's registration links on there as well. So, obviously hope to see, a large turnout for our camps this summer. Another great way you can support our program. If you're a young wrestler out there and you want to, tap into some of the success that App State Wrestling and the Boone RTC have had recently, it'd be a great opportunity for you to come to Boone in June and July and help train and learn from our staff and our wrestlers.
Awesome. Yeah, as someone that, when I was in high school, went to the camp and then, later on was able to instruct in the camp. It's a good experience. So for our listeners out there, if you've got kids or you yourself are looking into, what camp to go into, it's a really great experience to go to. So awesome. Well, hey, Coach, I appreciate you being with us tonight. It's been great as always. And before we close out for the night, I just want to also say that if you haven't already, feel free, our fans out there, join our Patreon page. We've got content that's coming out. We've got our ambassadors. You know who they are based off of what we talked about last time. So you'll see content with those guys. And again, it's going to be a great season, like Coach mentioned. So thank you, everyone. And that's all I got. So, Coach, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right. Thanks. You too. All right, bye.
This has been a production by Yosef Media.